Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving into what I think for a lot of people might feel like the driest real estate inventory in history.
Oh, for sure.
Joshua 15, verses 20 through 63. I mean, if you've ever tried to read it, you know it's just this massive list of unfamiliar city names.
Right.
It feels like an audio textbook, something you just want to speed read past.
And that feeling, that perceived tedium, is exactly why we need to dig into it.
Oh.
Our mission here is to move beyond seeing this as just some old archival material. If this was only human history, its value is, pretty limited.
It's just ancient geography.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when we see it as a concrete record of divine promise, a legally binding document, if you will, then all that detail becomes proof of fulfillment.
So we're basically tracing the evidence.
The verifiable evidence of God's faithfulness, yeah.
And the evidence really is overwhelming. This section just meticulously catalogs the land given to Judah, and it's all organized according to their clans.
The scale is huge.
It's massive. And it's broken down into these really distinct geographical zones.
Right. Think about how it starts. It begins way down in the extreme south toward the border of Edom, and it's naming specific places like Kabzeel, Beersheba.
Ziklag, yeah. And then it shifts completely to the lowland with towns like Lachish and Makeda.
And it's not just a rough sketch.
No, it's a forensic map. It catalogs the coastal region all the way to the Great Sea, listing these major centers, Ekron, Ashdod, Gaza.
And then it moves inland again to the hill country.
Including the very significant Kiryat Arba, which is Hebron. And finally, you get this list for the wilderness, these 6 remote towns like the city of Salt and Engedi.
And the precision, the numbers, 29 cities here, 14 cities there. It's not just for mapping. It's to show that the delivery was comprehensive.
So God keeps his promises down to the smallest detail.
Down to the property deed.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. I was reading something from an anthropologist who said that writing is unique because it lets us pass down records, successes and failures.
Yeah. Right, to allow for progress.
Yeah. And you're suggesting that's what's happening here. God is using this very human tool, a written record, for accountability.
That's it, exactly. We can connect that human need for documentation right to the text. These lists, these names that sort of trip us up when we read them.
They serve as proof.
They serve as forensic proof that what God said, he did. So the value isn't just historical mapping. It's a living testimony that God is faithful.
But hold on. If we're talking about meticulous fulfillment, we have to deal with the big footnote here.
The giant footnote.
Verse 63. It says that despite this huge inheritance, the people of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites from Jerusalem. How does that failure fit in?
Well, that tension is, I think, the central insight. The land was promised and it was delivered, but full possession required human action.
And obedience.
And obedience, yeah. And the consequences stated so clearly. The Jebusites continued to live there to this day. It shows that divine faithfulness doesn't just erase human responsibility.
So what does this all mean then? I mean, the big takeaway is that this long, frankly tedious list is actually proof of faithfulness.
It is. It might feel distant, but that documented reliability is the foundation for trust.
Right.
It's an encouragement for you as you're reading not to rush past the quote-unquote boring parts. They testify to a God who remembers every single detail of his word.
So if he delivered on all these specific towns,
then you can trust him with the parts of your life that you can't map out yet.
The sources really push this idea that God's grace was present for Judah and that we should expect his grace today, which leads to a final thought to chew on. What if the small, overlooked details in your own life, the mundane, the frustrating things you usually just rush past, what if those are also secretly the evidence of that same enduring, meticulous faithfulness?